Let's start by acknowledging that interviews can feel as intense as dental surgery. They involve scrutiny from strangers and unpredictable questions. However, preparation and practice make all the difference. Interviews typically include technical questions, like explaining protocols such as HART or PID controllers, and behavioral questions about teamwork, ethics, and problem solving. Resources like mock interviews, school career services, or even friends can help you build confidence. Remember, even experienced professionals rehearse. Preparation is your best ally. Start by researching the company's mission and values. This helps tailor your answers. Familiarize yourself with common behavioral questions like describe a time you handled conflict and rehearse answers using real life examples. Know your resume inside out. Interviewers will probe your experience. For example, if you listed PLC programming as a skill, be ready to explain a specific project. Always bring extra copies of your documents in case the panel needs them. Being organized shows professionalism. Pro tip, practice answering questions aloud while timing yourself to avoid rambling. Technical questions assess your hands on expertise. Expect topics like instrumentation protocols, safety procedures, or troubleshooting. For example, you might be asked to explain lockout tagout, a critical safety practice to isolate energy sources during maintenance. If you're unsure, don't panic. Interviewers value problem solving over perfect answers. For instance, if asked, how would you test a diode? Walk through your process. First, I'd use a multimeter in diode test mode to check forward and reverse bias. Even if you make a mistake, showing your logic builds credibility. Behavioral questions explore how you handle challenges. Let's break down the STAR method. Situation. During an internship, two team members disagreed on a design approach. Task. My role was to mediate and keep the project on schedule. Action. I organized a meeting to align priorities and delegated tasks based on strengths. Result. We delivered the prototype early and the team adopted my conflict resolution process. Avoid hypotheticals. Interviewers want proof of your skills. Even school or volunteer examples work. Let's dive deeper into STAR with an example. Situation. A team member fell behind, delaying our project. Task. I needed to reassign tasks without overloading others. Action. I met with the team to redistribute work and set daily check-ins. Result. We finished on time and the member improved their time management. Notice how this structure keeps answers focused. Practice STAR with a friend. Ask them to critique your clarity and conciseness. Remember, results don't need to be perfect. Showing growth matters most. What if you're stumped? Say, explain PID tuning using the Ziegler-Nichols method. If unsure, respond, I haven't used that method yet, but I'd start by reviewing the Ziegler-Nichols chapter in my textbook and consulting a senior technician. Never bluff. Interviewers spot dishonesty. Emphasize your willingness to learn. For example, at my last job, I learned Modbus by studying the manual and shadowing a colleague. This shows initiative. Some questions are off limits. For example, are you planning to have children is illegal. Politely redirect, I prefer to focus on my qualifications for this role. However, certain roles, like FBI positions, have BFOQs, legitimate criteria like age or physical fitness. If unsure, answer the spirit of the question. For instance, if asked about health, say, I'm fully capable of performing this job's physical requirements. Always prioritize honesty without oversharing personal details. Confidentiality is critical. Never share interview specifics with other candidates. Employers conduct rigorous background checks covering criminal records, drug use, and past employment. For example, a DUI or discrepancy in your resume can disqualify you. One student lost a nuclear plant job offer due to a minor theft charge from college. Transparency is key. If asked about a past mistake, acknowledge it and highlight how you've grown. Integrity is non-negotiable in high-stakes fields like instrumentation. Drug screenings are standard. Employers prioritize safety. Any substance abuse is a red flag. For example, a hair test can detect marijuana use from months ago, even if it's legal in your state. A student once failed a screening after using CBD oil, which contained trace THC. Avoid risks. Never borrow prescriptions or assume recreational use is harmless. If prescribed medication, disclose it upfront to avoid misunderstandings. In summary, research the company's latest projects. Mentioning their new PLC upgrade shows initiative. Dress sharply, even on Zoom. It boosts confidence. Post interview, send a thank you email highlighting key discussion points. For example, I enjoyed learning about your SCADA system upgrades and would love to contribute my heart protocol experience. Finally, stay calm. Unanswered questions don't mean rejection. One employer hired a candidate who said, "I don't know," 3 times, but demonstrated problem solving each time. As we wrap up this lecture on how to become an instrument engineer, let's take a moment to reflect on the key takeaways. We've explored the essential skills, the required education and certifications, and the career paths that can lead to success in this field. Whether you are just starting or looking to advance, continuous learning, hands on experience, and a strong technical foundation are crucial to excelling in instrumentation engineering. We appreciate your time and engagement. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you found this session insightful and valuable. We look forward to seeing you in our upcoming training courses, where we will continue to explore deeper topics and practical applications in industrial instrumentation and process control. Until then, keep learning, stay curious, and see you soon.